So, I watched this on Tubi TV. I've been wanting to watch this movie for a long time now. But it was never on anything, which is crazy because of how popular it is. At least that's what I've heard. I've heard it's like really popular. And Jordan Peele movies have made quite a bit of money. And he keeps making them. And so far, everyone I've seen, I've liked. I liked Nope. And I've liked this one. I do plan to see Us. I'm gonna get it on DVD. And there's only Jordan Peele movies I can name off the top of my head. Plus, he's only this was his directorial debut, so he hasn't made too many movies. So that might be all of his movies. Anyways, to the actual movie. The movie opens up with a dude getting kidnapped. He matters later, but not really. Like, he matters plot wise. He really helps out the plot. But he's like the only dude that doesn't die, which kind of sucks. Not for, clear reasons why, but here's why. Spoilers, obviously. They don't fully explain how it happens or whatever, but these rich white people, um, they think that black people have like a advantage genetically or some shit. So they switch their like brains into the black people's body and they become them and like hypnotize them so the black person is deep, deep down in the white person's body now. So they're not there anymore, basically, unless you like take photographs and then it like awakens them. Like you take a picture of them with a flashing light and like awakens them. But anyways, there's two of them. There's the grandma and the grandpa. They both die. The grandma dies in a car wreck getting mad about her house being destroyed or something. He didn't even destroy your house. What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, he took a deer head off the wall and rammed it into someone. But I don't really remember him destroying the house. But she starts ranting about him destroying the house and scratches at him, causing him to crash the car, and she fucking dies. And then the grandpa gets the light flashed into his eyes and he turns the gun on his own daughter because, now the black person, because I don't know his name, the black person comes out. He's here and he shoots her. And then he turns the gun on himself. Well, the other one, Andre, we never see what happens to him. They make a big deal out of his character. And his character has probably one of the best scenes in the movie and says the name of the movie, Get Out. But we never see what happens to him because he was just a visitor. He was one of the other rich white people that came to them to get the procedure done. So he just gets to live his life. It's kind of depressing, but he was a minor character, so I guess they just didn't care. But they have a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, I did get spoiled for the whole premise. But I've never seen the movie before. I really wish I could have seen this movie before I knew the whole fucking plot. But unfortunately, it was not meant to be, I guess. I got spoiled a long time ago. Because it's a very popular movie, obviously. The dude from Barry is in here, which I did not expect. Not Bill Hader, but the dude that plays, can't even think of his name right now. But he's in here. He plays a blind old dude that's not racist. So apparently, like, all the white people are racist but him. He just wants, like, eyes or something. I don't believe that. I mean, he does criticize the white people, but it's not like white people can't criticize white people and then, actually not be racist. He calls them, like, ignorant and shit. Um. Anyways, um. Also, the dude that plays his girlfriend in this movie is in Megan. So that was pretty cool. I was wondering what I recognized her from the entire movie, and then I found out when I looked it up. You know, obviously, I am white, so I I don't think I'm the most qualified one to talk about this type of movie and all the hints, backgrounds, and shit. But I genuinely think it was a really good movie. The ending was a bit odd. Originally, Jordan Peele was going to have him get killed by the police, but he decided not to go with that ending, which I think was the better idea, but the ending is just kind of odd. They do have a lot of shit where they do callbacks to other things, like how the movie ends with him leaving his girlfriend to die in the road and nobody is looking for her because all her family is dead. She's out in the middle of the fucking nowhere because they're rich assholes and they have this big ass mansion. So in the middle of nowhere. So really, there's not going to be too many people driving out there unless it would be other family members or like a cop if they called a cop. So she is being left to die in the street, just like his mother was. Which his mother was killed by a drunk driver. He blames himself for her death, even though he was like 10, and I don't think there was like telephones around. Like cell phones, I mean, there was telephones, obviously. But for whatever reason, he blames himself. I know some people do deal with that guilt, but it was kind of weird that he blamed himself that much. And of course, the white people really ham into him on that. There was one thing I did have to criticize. Out of all the movie, there was only one thing I have to criticize, and that was the fact that these white people have been doing this for so fucking long, right? Well, then why don't they at least somewhat know how black people talk? And the fact that they are living in black people's bodies now, yet they still insist that black people don't go through anything. That's fucking insane to me. Do they just never leave their house? That was my only problem. If they're going to be living in a black body, they are going to experience racism. It doesn't matter that they are white, in the inside, or black on the outside. I didn't understand that. They should have dealt with racism somehow. And, one thing that didn't really make sense to me, the fact that Georgina is obviously, what's her face's white grandma. Obviously on the outside she's black, but they talk about stuff. She tries to make her boyfriend more comfortable or whatever. Yeah, her name is Rose. What's the mom's name? Missy. Well, Missy is apparently rude to Georgina. I didn't see it. I didn't think she was being rude to her. She spills some glass. She spills some tea when filling up his glass, and she tells her to go lay down and rest for a while. And then later, Rose is ranting about her parents and saying they're basically just like the cop they ran into earlier that was racist, that they're no different from the cop. But I don't get how that was racist about her telling her to go lay down. It didn't seem like a microaggression. It didn't seem really racist. I didn't really hear anything in her tone of voice. Just nothing about it seemed bad. Did they cut out how she was rude to her and then leave that scene in? Um They do talk about how the dad was calling him my man or whatever. I don't really remember that. I do remember other things that made him seem, you know, a little off. Is an understatement, actually. But there was like other things that did fit what she was saying. But for the mom part, it really didn't. Now, back to my point. Why would she be rude to Georgina if that was her mother? That was her grandma. That was her mother. Why would she be rude to her? Especially obviously since this isn't a normal situation. Obviously, moms can be rude to their moms. But she gave her a whole new body. This is like part of her family tradition. She's the one that really helps with this stuff. She's the one that hypnotizes the people. So she was the one that hypnotized the original Georgina to give her mother that body. But now she's being rude to her mother for whatever reason, supposedly, because Rose says she is. Just two minor critiques, I guess. Well, not really the racism thing. That's not really a minor critique. It does not make sense how they're living in black bodies, but still insist that there is no such thing as racism and that black people have it better today. I do see why Jordan Peele put that in the movie, but it doesn't make sense logically. If they are living in black bodies now, they should experience racism. It's kind of how it works.